We are at stage 4, paragraph page 242. Okay, and our last headword was head, full stage revision. Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
What colors blood? What colors blood? Blood's red.
Blood is red.
Very good. When you're eating chocolate in company, do you offer them round? When you're eating chocolate in company, do you offer them round? Yes or no?
Yes.
When I'm eating chocolates
When I'm eating
in
chocolate
company, I
in
offer
company,
them round.
I offer them round.
Right? If I offer you £1,000,000, will you take it? Huh. If I offer you £1,000,000, will you take it? Yes or no?
No.
If you offer me
If you offer
a
me
million pounds,
a million
I
pound,
won't take it.
I won't take it.
Yeah, I don't have that much money anyway. Okay. What's the opposite of life? What's the opposite of life? The opposite of
The
life
opposite
is
of
death.
life is death.
Very good. Do you think life is more pleasant for children or adults? Do you think life is more pleasant for children or adults? I think life.
Uh, I
I think
think
life
I think life
is more pleasant
uh,
for
is more pleasant for children
than adults.
than adults.
Very good. Okay. Do you think life is harder these days than it was in the past? Do you think life is harder these days than it was in the past? No. I don't think
No,
life
I don't think
is
life
harder these
is
days
harder
these
these
days
days
than it was in the past.
than it was in the past.
I think it's easier.
I think it's easier.
Where in your country, what color do you use for death? In your country, what color do you use for death? In my country,
In my
we
country,
use black
we
for death.
use black
For
for
death.
death.
Is death a pleasant subject to speak about? Is death a pleasant subject to speak about? No, death isn't
No,
a pleasant
death
subject
isn't a
to speak
pleasant
about.
subject to speak about.
Wait, what do doctors suggest doing for a healthy life? What do doctors suggest doing for a healthy life? Doctors suggest
Doctors
eating
suggest
healthy food
eating healthy food
and getting lots of fresh
and getting
air
lots of fresh air
and exercise
for and
for
exercise
a healthy life.
for a healthy life.
Very good. Where do you suggest he goes for his holiday next year? Where do you suggest he goes for his holiday next year? I suggest
Uh,
he
I
goes
suggest
to
he goes to Philippines next year.
for his holiday
For his holiday
next
next
year.
year.
Tomorrow I'll buy a new shirt. What color do you suggest I buy? Tomorrow I'll buy a new shirt. What color do you suggest I buy? I suggest
I
you buy a
suggest you buy red shoes.
red shirt. Very good. If she wants to see a film tonight, which film do you suggest she sees? If she wants to see a film tonight, which film do you suggest she sees? I suggest
I suggest
she
Star
sees
Wars.
the
She sees
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Very good. Where do you suggest, or what do you suggest I do this weekend? What do you suggest I do this weekend? I suggest you.
I suggest you are going to shopping.
Okay. I suggest you go shopping
I suggest you go shopping
this weekend.
this weekend.
Very good. Okay. Next, what time will you go to bed tonight? What time will you go to bed tonight? I'll go to bed
I
at
will go to bed at 11 p.m.
tonight.
tonight.
What will you do before going to bed tonight? What will you do before going to bed tonight? I'll watch TV,
Uh, I will watch TV,
read,
uh,
go to the cinema,
uh, read a book,
etc. before
etc.
going to bed tonight.
Before I'm going to bed tonight.
Very good. Are you tired at the moment? Are you tired at the moment? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not
I'm not
tired
tired
at the moment.
at the moment.
Just sleepy. Very good again. What do you do when you feel tired? What do you do when you feel tired? When I feel tired,
When I feel
I go to
tired,
bed.
I go to bed.
Are you tired of studying? Are you tired of studying? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not
I'm not
tired of
tired
studying.
of studying.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're turning around.
You are turning around.
If you turn around, what will you see? If you turn around, what will you see? If I turn around,
If I turn
I'll
around,
see
I I'll see
like
television.
television. Very good. Can you turn completely round without standing up? Can you turn completely round without standing up? No, I can't turn
No, I
completely
can
round
turn
without
completely around
standing up.
without standing out.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're turning over
You're turning
a
over
page in your book.
a page in your book.
Very good. What's the past of get? What's the past of get? The past of get
The past of
is
get
got.
is got.
Where did you get your shoes? Where did you get your shoes? I got my shoes
Eh,
from.
I got my shoes from ABC store.
Very good. What time did you get here today? What time did you get here today? I got here
Uh,
at
I got here at 9 a.m.
today.
today.
Wait, did you get to school early today? Did you get to school early today? Yes or no?
Eh, no,
I didn't
I
get
didn't
to school
get
early today.
to school early today.
Very good. Will you be in this room until 10 o'clock this evening? Will you be in that room until 10 o'clock this evening? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'll be in this room
I'll be in this room
until 10 o'clock this
uh,
evening.
until 10 o'clock this evening.
Do you want to live until you're 100 years old? Do you want to live until you're 100 years old? Yes or no?
Hmm. Yes,
I want to
I
live
want to live
until I'm 100 years
until
old.
I'm 100 years old.
Our supermarkets sometimes open till late at night. Our supermarkets open till late at night? Yes.
Yes,
Supermarkets are sometimes
supermarkets are
open
sometimes
till late at night.
opened till late at night.
Very good. Will you come here again next week? Will you come here again next week? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'll come
I
here
will come
again next
here
week.
again next week.
Very good. Will you ask? Will I ask you the same questions again next lesson as I am asking you now? Will I ask you the same
Uh,
questions again next lesson as I am asking you now? Yes. You'll ask
yes,
me
you
the
will
same
ask me
questions
the
again
same questions again
next lesson
uh,
as you are
next
asking
lesson
me now.
as you were asking me now.
Where if we make too many mistakes in our dictations, do you think it's better to do them again? If we make too many mistakes in our dictations, do you think it's better to do them again? Yes. If we
Yes,
make too
if
many
we make
mistakes
too many
in our
mistakes
dictations,
in our
I think
dictations,
it's
uh,
better to
I
do them
think it's
again.
better to do them again.
Very good. What's the duration of a lesson in this school? What's the duration of a lesson in this school? The duration of
The
a lesson
duration
in
of
this
a
school
lesson
is
in the school is
25
25
minutes.
minutes.
What's the duration of a game of football? What's the duration of a game of football? The duration
The
of a
duration
game of
of
football
a game of
is
football
90 minutes.
is 90 minutes.
Very good. Will there be anything on TV tonight? Will there be anything on TV tonight? Yes, there will be
Yes,
something
there'll be
on
something
TV tonight.
on TV tonight.
Will there be any pictures hanging on this wall next lesson? Will there be any picture hanging on this wall next lesson? Yes, there will be a
Yes,
picture
there'll be a
hanging
picture
on that wall next lesson.
hanging on that wall next lesson.
Very good. Will there be a chair on the table next lesson? Will there be a chair on the table next lesson? No, there won't
No,
be a chair
there won't be
on
a
the
chair
table next
on the
lesson.
table next lesson.
Will there be anybody sitting on the floor next lesson? Will there be anybody sitting on the floor next lesson? No,
Uh,
there won't
no,
be anybody
there won't be
sitting on the
anybody
floor
sitting
next
on the
lesson.
floor next lesson.
Very good. Which newspaper do you read? Which newspaper do you read? I read.
Eh, I read the New York Times.
Very good. Which is one of the most popular newspaper in your country? Which is one of the most popular newspaper in your country? The
The Nikkei Shimbun
is one
is
of the most.
one of the
Popular
most
newspapers
popular
in
newspaper
my country.
in my country.
Greg, do you often read magazines? Do you often read magazines? Yes or no?
Yes,
I often
I
read
often read
magazines.
magazines.
Very good. What's the passive cell? What's the passive cell? The passive
The
cell
past of
is sold.
sale is sold.
Which shop sold your shoes? Which shop sold your shoes? Nike, Adidas,
Eh,
Uniqlo
Uniqlo
sold me my shoes.
sold me my
Oh,
shoes.
I love Uniqlo. Okay, next. What do we
Mm,
use to make a fire? What do we use to make a fire? We use wood, paper,
we use wood,
coal, etc. Uh,
vehicle,
we
coal,
use wood.
etc.
One more. We
Wood.
use wood, paper,
We use
coal,
wood, paper, coal,
etc. to
etc.
make a fire.
to make a fire.
What color's coal? What color's coal? Coal's black.
Coal is black.
Very good. In a restaurant, what do we look at to decide what we want to eat? In a restaurant, what do we look at to decide what we want to eat? In a restaurant, we
In a
look at
restaurant,
a menu
we look at the
to
menu
decide what we want
to
to eat.
decide what we want to eat.
Very good. Did you decide to study English, or did somebody in your family decide for you? Did you decide to study English, or did somebody in your family decide for you? I decided to
I
study English.
decided to study English.
Nobody in
Uh,
my family
Nobody in my
decided
family
for me.
decided for me.
Very good. Explain the difference between the present continuous and the present simple. Explain the difference between the present continuous and the present simple, please. The difference between
The difference
the present
between
continuous
the present
and the
continued
present simple
and the present
is
simple
that we use
is that we
the present
use
continuous
the present continued
for an action
or an
we
action
are doing now, whereas
we are doing now.
we use the present
We
simple
use the present
for
simple
an action we do
for an
generally.
action we do generally.
Very good. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm explaining
Okay.
the difference
I'm explaining the
between
difference
the present
between the
continuous
present
and the
continued
present
and
simple.
the present simple.
Very good. Which place in the world do you think is most like heaven? Which place in the world do you think is most like heaven? I think.
I think eh,
Which place is very beautiful like heaven? Okinawa, Hokkaido, or Hawaii?
京都
Kyoto is most like heaven.
is most like heaven.
Very good. What's the opposite of heaven? What's the opposite of heaven? The opposite of
The
heaven
opposite of
is
heaven
hell.
is hell.
Hell. Very good. Is it a good idea to book a table before going to a very popular restaurant? Is it a good idea to book a table before going to a very popular restaurant? Yes. It's a
Yes,
good idea
it's a good
to
idea
book a table
to book a table
before going to a
before
very
going
popular
to a
restaurant.
very popular restaurant.
Where do you always try hard to answer the questions I ask you? Do you always try hard to answer the questions I ask you? Yes, I
Yes,
always try
I
hard
always try
to
hard
answer the
to
questions
answer the
you
questions
ask me.
you ask me.
Birgit, are you always willing to try anything new? Are you always willing to try anything new? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm always willing
I'm always
to
willing
try anything new.
to try anything new.
Do some people sometimes try to do the impossible? Do some people sometimes try to do the impossible? Yes. Some people
Yes,
sometimes
some people
try to
sometimes
do
try to
the
do
impossible.
the impossible.
Very good. Are cities quiet places to live in? Are cities quiet places to live in? No. Cities
No,
aren't quiet
cities
places
aren't
to live
quiet
in.
places to live in.
They're noisy places.
They are noisy places.
Is village life noisy? Is village life noisy? No. Village
No,
life
the
isn't
village
noisy.
life isn't
It's
noisy.
quiet.
It's quiet.
Which do you think's the noisiest street in your town? Which do you think's the noisiest street in your town? I think
I think
ABC
the
Street
ABC Street
is the noisiest street
is the noisiest
in
street
my town.
in my town.
Are motorbikes quieter than bicycles? Are motorbikes quieter than bicycles? No,
No,
motorbikes aren't quieter
motorbike are
than
quieter
bicycles.
than
They're
bicycles.
noisier than
They are
bicycles.
noisier than bicycles.
Very good. Are you sorry when the winter ends? Are you sorry when the winter ends? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm sorry
I'm
when the
sorry
winter ends.
when the winter ends.
Will you be sorry if it's a sunny day tomorrow? Will you be sorry if it's a sunny day tomorrow? No. I won't
No,
be sorry.
I'm not be
Uh,
I'm not
I
hmm?
won't be sorry
I I won't be
if
sorry
it's a sunny
uh,
day
if
tomorrow.
it's a sunny day tomorrow.
I'll be pleased.
I'll be pleased.
Very good. What do we say to people when we do something wrong? What do we say to people when we do something wrong? We say, I'm sorry to people
We say I'm sorry to
when
people
we do something
when
wrong.
we do something wrong.
Very good. What's the past of have? What's the past of have? The past of have
The past
is
of
had.
have is had.
What did I have in my hand last lesson? What did I have in my hand last lesson? You had a pen in
You
your
had a
hand
pen
last
in your
lesson.
hand last lesson.
What did you have for your breakfast this morning? What did you have for your breakfast this morning? I had some
Uh, I had some banana
for my
uh,
breakfast this morning.
for my breakfast this morning.
Very good. What did she have for her breakfast this morning? What did she have for her breakfast this morning? She had some
She has some uh,
coffee
yogurt.
or yogurt,
Mm.
miso soup, curry, a very big breakfast for her breakfast
For her
this
breakfast this
morning.
morning.
Very good. Did we have any shoes on our feet yesterday? Did we have any shoes on our feet yesterday? Yes, we had some
Yes,
shoes
we had some
on our
shoes
feet yesterday.
on our feet yesterday.
Did they have any money in their pockets last lesson? Did they have any money in their pockets last lesson? Yes, they had
Yes,
some money
they had some
in their
money
pockets
in
last
their
lesson.
pocket last lesson.
Very good. What's the past of can? What's the past of can? The past of can
The past
is
of
could.
can is could.
Could you speak English 15 years ago? Could you speak English 15 years ago? No, I couldn't speak
No,
English
I couldn't speak
15
English
years ago.
15 years ago.
Could you write your name when you were a baby of 6 months old? Could you write your name when you were a baby of 6 months old? No, I
No,
couldn't write
I
my name
couldn't write my
when I
name
was a baby
when I
of
was a
6 months
baby
old.
of 6 months old.
Could you read when you were a little baby? Could you read when you were a little baby? No, I couldn't
No, I
read
couldn't
when I
read
was a little
when
baby.
I was a little baby.
Very good. Do you think maybe it'll rain later? Do you think maybe it'll rain later? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
maybe
think
it'll rain
maybe
later.
it'll rain later.
Very good. Do you think perhaps you'll meet a friend of yours on your way home after the lesson? Do you think perhaps you'll meet a friend of yours on your way home after the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think perhaps.
I think
Perhaps
perhaps
I'll meet a friend of mine.
perhaps I'll meet
A
a
friend
friend of
of mine
mine
on my way home
on my way
after
home
the lesson.
uh, after the lesson.
Right. Do you think maybe you'll go to the cinema next month? Do you think maybe you'll go to the cinema next month? Yes or no?
Uh, yes,
I think
I think
maybe I'll go to
maybe
the cinema
I'll go to the
next
cinema
month
next
and
month.
watch Detective Conan. Very good. Okay. Do you like sweet food? Do you like sweet food? Yes or no?
Yes,
I like sweet
I like
food.
sweet food.
Wait, did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? Did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? Yes or no?
Yes,
I ate a
when
lot of
I
sweets
ate a lot of
when I
sweets
was a child.
when I was a child.
Very good. Okay. Do we generally use contractions in spoken or written English? Do we generally use contractions in spoken or written English? We generally use
We generally
contractions
use
in spoken
uh,
English.
contraction
Contractions
in contraction
in
in
spoken English.
in spoken English.
Very good. One more. We generally use
We generally
contractions
use
in
contraction
spoken English.
in spoken English.
Very good. Do you think it's easier to understand written English or spoken English? Do you think it's easier to understand written English or spoken English? I think it's
I
easier
think it's
to
easier
understand
to understand, uh,
written or spoken?
write,
Written English
written English
than spoken English.
than spoken English.
Very good. What's the construction of book will? What's the construction of book will? The construction
The
of book
contraction
will
of book will
is buckle.
is buku.
What's the construction of tomorrow will? What's the construction of tomorrow will? The construction
The
of
contraction of
tomorrow will
tomorrow will
is
is
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Very good. What's the construction of the light will? What's the construction of the light will? The construction
The
of
contraction
the light will
of the light will
is the
is
lightle.
the the lightle.
Lightle. Very good. What's
Lightle.
what's the construction of the door will? What's the construction of the door will? The construction
The
of the
contraction
door
of
will
the door will
is the
is
door.
the door.
What's the construction of who will? What's the construction of who will? The construction
The
of
contraction
who
of
will
who will
is who.
is fool.
Oh, last one. What's the construction of what will? What's the construction of what will? The construction
The
of what
contraction
will
of what will
is what'll.
is wattle.
Very good. Do we always use contractions in English? Do we always use contractions in English? No, we don't
No,
always use
we don't always use
contractions in English.
contractions in English.
When don't we use contractions? When don't we use
When
contractions? We don't
we
use
don't use contraction,
contractions when they
uh,
are difficult to
when they
pronounce.
are difficult to pronounce.
Very good. Do you think tomorrow will be a cloudy day? Do you think tomorrow will be a cloudy day? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I
tomorrow
don't
will
think
be
tomorrow will
a
be
cloudy day.
a cloudy day.
I think it's this.
I
I
think
think it'll be sunny.
I think it will be sunny.
Very good. Will that picture be hanging on the wall next lesson? Will that picture be hanging on the wall next lesson? Yes, that
Yes,
picture will be
the the picture will be
hanging on the wall
hanging on the
next lesson.
wall next lesson.
Very good. Will the door be the same color next week as it is this week? Will the door be the same color next week as it is this week? Yes, the door will
Yes,
be
the door will
the
be
same
the
color next week
same color next week
as it is this week.
as it is this week.
Very good. Will Mr. Brown be here next lesson? Will Mr. Brown be here next lesson? Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Brown will be here
Mr. Brown be here
next lesson.
next lesson.
Very good. How do you spell your name? How do you spell your name? I spell my name
I spell my name is
T O M O.
Tomomi.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you prefer to communicate with your friends by phoning or texting? Do you prefer to communicate with your friends by phoning or texting? I prefer
I
to communicate
prefer to
with my
communicate
friends
with my
by
friends of mine,
by
uh,
texting or phoning.
by text,
Texting.
texting.
Very good. Do you think it's easier to communicate in spoken or written English? Do you think it's easier to communicate in spoken or written English? I think it's
I think
easier to
it's
communicate
easier
in
to communicate in
English than
written
spoken
English
English.
than spoken English.
Very good. Can you communicate very complicated ideas easily in English? Can you communicate very complicated ideas easily in English? Yes or no? I
No,
can't communicate
I can't
very
communicate
complicated
very complicated
ideas easily
ideas easily
in English yet.
in English yet.
Yeah, you put yet because soon you will be. Okay, next. What's the negative of had? What's the negative of had? The negative of
The
had
negative of
is
had
hadn't.
is hadn't.
Very good. What are the common ways of asking a question with the verb have? What are the common ways of asking a question with the verb have? The common ways.
The
Okay,
common
but we
ways.
can't finish that anymore, so we stop
Okay.
there